there comes to a point in your journey where you start to feel like you're falling behind, and you start comparing yourselves to your peers. And maybe it's seeing some girl online getting brand deals, getting flown out to Paris by a brand, and just getting all this like luxurious life, and you're just sitting here being like, I am working the same job for the past 5 years and have done nothing with my life. That's how I feel majority of the time, where I'm 27 years old and I see somebody who's like 24, 25, like 23 making a huge living for themselves, and I'm like, what have I done wrong in my life that I haven't caught up to speed? Especially in this internet age where literally anybody could become basically famous. Anybody can have those things. It's not like oh, you struck a luck or anything. It's literally anybody could do it as long as like you're consistent with it. So for me, I'm just like, how are these people ahead and how come I'm not? And so I'm here to tell you that you need to stop watching other people succeed and go after your goal, because all you're gonna do is just keeping that gap between those successful people and you farther and farther and farther, because they're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep going after what they want while you're staying stagnant at wherever you're at, and you're gonna keep yourself there because you're not really doing anything to yourself that you're gonna better yourself, that you're gonna go after your dreams, that you're really making the progress needed to obtain those same things. So I came to a point where I just got tired of watching everybody else get what they want, and I'm just like, I really want that, and somehow, some way I can't get that. Like, there's something wrong with me that I can't get it. Yes, there was something wrong with me. It was the fact that I wasn't consistent, I wasn't determined, and I just didn't know how to actually go after my goal. So I'm here to tell you how to actually go after your goal. I'm gonna give you the breakdown steps on how to become successful in your goals, how to actually achieve them, and how to expedite things so you can actually get there faster. So if you guys are enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Joel De Silva. So let's go to step number 1. So in order to stop watching other people succeed and actually go after your own goal, what we need to do is we need to outline what needs to be done, when, and how to actually do it. Okay, when creating an action plan, you need those 3 things. You need the what, when, and how. So what is your goal, right? What is the thing that you're going after? For me, I've mentioned it multiple times, but if you're new to this channel, I want to become monetized. That's my main goal as of right now. There's more to it, but as of right now, my main goal is to become monetized. So when do I believe I'm going to become monetized? Well, I believe that I'm going to be monetized by September if I keep up with the steps, with the action plan, right? And how I'm going to get there. So I've decided that I'm going to be uploading every other day on my YouTube channel, and that's that, right? Just upload every other day and just make my content really good and really like captivating, with captivating titles, captivating thumbnail, so I can attract a new audience. So that's how I'm going to do it. It's as simple as that, but it gets so complicated because we get so wrapped around our heads about the fact that we have to do the same action every single day, because it gets tiring. It gets so tiring just waiting for your goals to just come about. It gets so tiring having to make the same steps every single day. Just imagine for me, right? I have to film every other day. I have to upload every other day. So it's almost the same sequence every single time, with almost little payout at this very moment. It's like one foot right in front of the other to get to where I want, but the reward for it is going to be so freaking huge, because I'll finally become monetized. I'll finally have that thing that I really, really want. But the thing is that you have to make huge sacrifices for baby steps to get ahead in baby step forms. So we have to start with what? What is it that you want? What is it that you're looking forward to? What is it that you're wanting in life? If you haven't figured that out already, I'm more than sure that it's either one of these 3 things. You either want a material, you want money, or you want some sort of like mindset shift, like place you want to go, right? Think of anything, literally anything. Maybe it's a trip to Paris. Maybe it's a trip to the Bahamas. Maybe it's having a home. Maybe it's cutting down on debt. Like, literally think of anything that you want, that you will consider successful. The thing that you're like jealous of somebody else having. Why do you feel that jealousy? It's because you want it too. So think of what is it that you want? You want to become a billionaire? You want to become a millionaire? You want to have your own business? You want to start your YouTube channel? You want to become an influencer? Like, these goals, it doesn't matter how big or how like, oh, am I worthy enough to get this? That does not matter, okay? Don't think about the external like feelings of, do I believe in actually getting this? Am I actually going to get this? Do I believe in myself? Am I actually going to do this? Don't even think about that. Just for right now, think of what you want, because there's something that everybody wants, well, at least something. So think of what is it that you want. Next, we want to think about when. By when do you want this? So I want to become monetized by the end of the year. I'm predicting that I'll get it by September, but for sure I want to get it before the end of the year. So think about your when. By when do you want this goal? So if you want a trip to Paris, by when do you want to go to the trip? You want to go to the trip next year, next 2 years, in the next few months, in the next few weeks? By when do you want to pay off your debt? In the next few weeks, in the next few months, in the next few years? Think of by when do you want this to be accomplished? Okay, because this is going to give us a way to have, when we put a date on our goals, when we put a deadline, when we put an expiration date, it allows us to really create a plan that has the intensity that will allow us to achieve that goal by that date. It'll allow us the action step that we need to take every single day to be able to accomplish that goal by that date. It gives us like it's kind of like a formula of like, how intense do you need to go in order to achieve it? Kind of like when you're losing weight, right? If you want to lose weight by a certain time, you need to lose a certain amount of weight every single week, like an X amount of weight. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds in total, and you want to do that within 3 months. So then you divide all that. You divide 20 divided by 3, and then you get your X amount of you get your X amount of pounds that you need to lose by each month. And so then you divide that again by 4 weeks, and then you get your amount that you need to lose by each week. And so then you realize, okay, how much calories do I need to intake? How much do I need to work out in order to be able to lose that amount of calories every single week? You need to figure out how intense you need to go in order to accomplish that. If you, let's say, want to lose 20 pounds in 1 year, then you don't have to go as intense on your goals. So when we think about by when, it allows us to identify how intense do I need to go on this goal in order to accomplish that goal by this time frame. So we also have to be realistic with ourselves, right? Because we can't pay off $10,000 of debt in 3 months when you only make less than 25K a year. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not feasible when you got other bills to pay, when you got kids, when you got car payments. Like, it's just not feasible for you to be able to pay that off. So we have to be reasonable with how we're going to, by when we want to accomplish this. So for me, my reasonable is in the next 6 months, from July to December, I will become monetized. So that allows me the mindset of how intense do I need to go with my YouTube channel in order to accomplish that. If I accomplish that way before, great. But if not, okay, we need to go intense on this. So identify how intense. So we need to identify by when we want to do this so that we can know how intense we need to go with our plan. So by when, everybody pick a date, doesn't matter. Pick a date, a reasonable date that you can actually accomplish something. Now, how are we going to do this? This is the important part, because this is the actionable step that you're going to be taking every single day to achieve the goal. So it's one action step. Just one. It's not multiple, just one. So for me, if I want to become a full-time content creator, that means I need to upload every other day, right? Because that's the plan that I had set out for myself. I'm going to upload every single day. Therefore, my one actionable step is I have to film every other day. And now the days that I'm not filming, I am scripting my videos. So scripting means just writing out my thoughts, writing out my bullet points of what I'm going to be talking about. That is my actionable step that I'm taking every single day. Do you see how it's only one thing per day? Either filming or writing. And then if I want to do extra, I can film and write on the same day. I did it today. I filmed and wrote today. But at the same time, I'm telling you guys, you have to work on it every single day. So either way, even if I'm not scripting and filming tomorrow, I'm still thinking about YouTube. I'm still thinking about a new thumbnail. I'm still thinking about a new title. I'm still thinking, like, there's still things happening in the background where I'm not leaving my goal behind. I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still actively doing something about it. So when you want to think about your how are you going to achieve your goal, you have to recognize what consistent actionable step can you do every single day. This is where I always bring the lazy strategy in, because when you want to create a plan, you want to create a plan that your laziest self can still show up on. I understand for me that I am not somebody who can wait until the end of the day to go home and film, because I'm way too freaking tired to do any of that. But I understand my advantage, which is I work in my car and going from home to home to my clients. So there's times where I get cancellations. Right now I have a cancellation, so I'm able to film. So that is my advantage, that I can film during my work day, and I can get this video filmed and then edited by the end of the night and uploaded for tomorrow. So I recognize my advantage. Figure out what is your advantages and your disadvantages when it comes to your plan. What are you able to do? How are you going to show up for yourself? And what is your disadvantage? My disadvantage is that, again, I get so tired by the end of the day, so that means I have to also stay up an hour later than I really want to be able to edit this video and upload it. That's my disadvantage, is that I'm so freaking tired. I have my kids, and so that means I have to wait until they fall asleep in order to get this uploaded and edited. But that's okay, because again, my advantage is that I got to film it. Then my disadvantage is that I have to wait until my kids go to sleep to upload it. So recognize what your advantages and disadvantages are and include that in your goal. So think about throughout your day, what do you have an advantage on? Maybe it's that fact that you work from home. Cool. Maybe it's the fact that you get paid a lot. Cool. Maybe it's the fact that you know, whatever the case is, everybody has an advantage. Maybe it's that you live at home still. Okay, cool. Like, what is your advantage when it comes to being able to achieve your goals? Now, the disadvantages would probably be very easy. What are the excuses that you give yourself every single time that you try to go after your goal? What are the reasons that you can't achieve it, right? So it could be you have kids, you have no time, you have no energy, you have blah 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 blah, right? Those are easy to identify, your disadvantages. What can we do to work around our disadvantages so that our advantage could be the strength, and we could work around the disadvantage so that we can still show up for ourselves every single day? So it's the fact that I have my kids that I can't just so easily sit down and film after work. I can't sit down and I have to take up my hour breaks from work to be able to film. But again, my advantage is the fact that I get cancellation, so I get to film. And so I understand what my advantage is and I understand what my disadvantage is, but my disadvantage doesn't mean that it's going to cause me to fall. It just means that I know how to work around. I can work around what my weakness is so that I can still propel with my strength and still keep going. So to figure out a plan, I use the lazy strategy, where we like to make a plan for our most ambitious self, where we're like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 times out of the week, and I'm gonna go on a 1,000 calorie deficit, and I'm only gonna eat 1,000 calories every single day, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, but can your laziest self show up? The one that wants to procrastinate, the one that wants to go on TikTok, the one that wants to just scroll on Instagram all day. Can that person show up for 1,000 calorie diet, for going to the gym 5 times a week? Probably not. What can your laziest self show up and do? Maybe it's not 5 times out of the week you can go to the gym. Maybe it's only 3 times. And maybe it's not even to the gym. Maybe it's only 3 times out of the week you can go walking for a mile. Maybe that's what your laziest self can do. Maybe it's not going on 1,000 calorie deficit. Maybe it's that you can just stop eating at 8 p.m. Maybe that's what your laziest self can do. Just stop snacking after 8 p.m. right before you go to bed. You know, you have to think, what can your laziest self be able to do so that when you are in the midst of keeping the ball rolling, you're not going to just fall behind and you're not going to want to quit. You keep the momentum going. So that's what I call the lazy strategy, and I love utilizing that because I love creating a plan for my laziest self to become the better version of me. So the next thing is to enhance resilience by learning to adapt. Learning to adapt to your environment, learning to adapt to the cons of your life, to the disadvantages, to everything that kind of just gets in the way. You become resilient by learning to adapt to the environment. So every single day it's changing. Every single month something's coming up. Every single season something's coming up. And so we have to recognize, if you really want something, you will go out and do it. And you have to learn how to adapt to your environment. You can either let it drown you and consume you to the point where you just completely give up on your dreams, on your goals, or you can allow it, or you can adapt to the environment and figure out how you can get ahead of it. So I like to think of my life like, what is the weakness point in my life? What is the thing that's like I could possibly see myself falling because of this? And it's going to change every single season. Not every season is going to be the same. So for right now, my weakness point, my point of weakness, and this is to be totally transparent with you guys, my point of weakness right now is my job and the financial security that I do have. So I understand that at some point maybe I will fall into some sort of financial strain, but I can try my hardest to get ahead of the curve by not allowing it to consume me, and figure out a way to and create a plan so that I can still show up on YouTube, so I can still show up on my Facebook pages, and I can still show up for you guys, because at the end of the day, this is still what I want. And just because there's a moment where I'm not financially super secure, I know at some point I will be, because I know I'll figure it out. But as of right now, it's not something that I'm like, I know it's kind of just there and festering, and it's kind of boiling a little bit, so it's causing a lot of stress. But again, I can prepare for that, because at the end of the day, I still want to become a full-time content creator. This is still my #1 goal. And so again, you would have to learn how to adapt to the environment. And even though it's so scary, you have to create, again, a plan, a doomsday plan for yourself, so that it doesn't end up falling the way that you believe it will. And the last step is to make the same step every day. Nothing is better than predictability. When you know how to show up for yourself every single day, it takes away all of that stress of, how am I going to achieve this? How am I going to do this? And you can really truly see a lot of progress and momentum with yourself when you actually show up in the same step every single day. The same step for me is uploading and filming. That's it. I show up every single day and I check my YouTube analytics, and I see that, hey, you know what? I gained a new subscriber, or hey, look, I'm getting more watch hours. Hey, look, once I show up, when I'm able to show up for myself every single day consistently in the same way, I can really truly see what's going to work and what's not. And I can truly see and I can see, and there's no stress of like, how am I going to achieve this? How am I going to manage this? No, I show up every single day in the same way, so that I can predict for my day how I'm going to show up for myself. And then there's not really much thought about it. It's like, okay, I know I have to film today, and I know exactly how I'm supposed to film. Okay, I'm supposed to script today. I know exactly how I'm supposed to script. you create this predictability, but predictability is also boring. So this is where a lot of people kind of fall, and it's like, oh, do I really have to do this? Because you already know what hard work it entails. You already know the hard work that you have to put in order to accomplish that step. But one mindset shift that has helped me a lot is that instead of saying, oh, I don't want to do this, I just tell myself, oh, I'll just get it over with. Because it has the same tone of not wanting to do it, but the difference is that there's an action in one of them. The action is, I'm just going to get it over with. There's action being taken place with that phrase. But the other one is, there is no action. I don't want to do it. There's no action being taken place. So with that mindset shift, I'm able to show up for myself every single day, and I'm able to show up for my goals, and I'm able to come online and still film for you guys, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how I'm thinking, no matter what's going on around me, no matter how much I don't want to do this. I'm still like, I'm just gonna get it over with. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Silva. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Mwah.